This is an epidemic, right? This is worse than fucking, I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about. This is worse than the mainstream epidemics. This is the real epidemic, the loneliness. There's so many people feel like this, dude, and more disconnected from themselves. You can change. You can love yourself. You just have to accept that which you feel. It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. I'm not saying expressing it. I'm not saying it's okay to accept that you feel that, and that is you through and through. Whatever it is, that's okay. Please never forget that. If you have this kind of bone-chilling loneliness, if you feel like you can be surrounded by people, but you still feel like you don't connect, if you just feel kind of empty inside and you feel like you're just a compilation of traits, there's always this kind of glass wall between you and other people. Or that maybe you got into a relationship with someone and you became super obsessed with them because they were loving you in a way that you never felt loved before. Let me tell you, dude, I know exactly what you feel like. You feel alone. This emptiness inside. I know exactly how you feel. And believe me, my entire life, I've dedicated it to understand and heal that. I didn't know how it felt to connect to myself. But maybe with these tools, you can start to work on this much earlier than I did. Why do you feel disconnected? Why is it that you have this void inside that you really don't know why, but you're just feeling uncomfortable with yourself? How much do you need to escape yourself? How much do you use your phone? How much are you drawn for consumption? How much can you actually be able to focus? You start feeling uncomfortable with being with yourself. You start feeling lonely. You don't really know why you have that. Like, you read through books, you go through the whole everything, and you don't understand, why do you feel so alone? Why do you feel so uncomfortable? What is it? Why are you so miserable and others can enjoy life so much? The first thing you have to look at your parents. And precisely, you have to look at the relationship you had with your parents when you were a kid. Because the relationship you have with your parents is going to dictate the relationship you have with the world when you grow older. For me, and I'm going to give you my example so maybe you can relate, I've always felt like I had to not be a problem, not be a nuisance. Very quickly figured out that I couldn't bother my mom with, I don't know, being sad or being angry. So if this was the whole of me, let's say, I could only interact with her in this like very small segment. So this is all I could be around her. And everything else outside of this, I was like being bad. And by the way, I had a great childhood. Compared to 90% of people, I had an amazing childhood. I learned how to read fairly quickly and how to talk. Kind of like dark to say, but like I felt kind of like a well-trained sea lion when my mom would just take me around to her friends and tell them, hey, João, tell them how old are you? Hey, João, tell them about this thing you read. And I always felt like I kind of had to, in a way, perform for her and perform for other people all the time. And although it may seem like, wow, he's so intelligent, like that's such a great kid, everybody loved me, inside I started feeling like, okay, this is what I have to be, this is what I have to do. And that started to mark the beginning of when I started to feel lonely. Because in truth, this is why you feel lonely. You feel lonely because you disconnected with yourself and you only operate within a very limited range of you. This right here is the origin story of why you became lonely your whole life. To summarize the whole point, you are lonely because you have long abandoned yourself. You have long deemed a lot of things about you as unacceptable. You basically repressed a lot of yourself, if not to say 90%, 95, 98% of you, and you just operate within this little bubble, or even worse, you try to be this other thing that you think is going to be cool. You know, like you try to be Andrew Tate or you try to be someone else completely outside of you. If you want to start healing this, you need to start getting in contact with yourself. You need to start being okay with feeling whatever you're feeling. Accept whatever you feel, because that is you. Until you accept whatever you feel, you'll feel lonely. In order to stop that loneliness, in order to stop the compensation, in order to stop putting all this effort trying to be someone you're not, in order to stop obsessing over your ex, you have to sink into yourself and you have to love yourself and you have to allow yourself to feel whatever comes up from a place of love. And I don't mean expressing it necessarily, all right? I don't mean expressing it, because expressing it is just a way that you try to get rid of it. You have to develop a loving relationship with everything that you feel about yourself. And that's the only way that loneliness will go away. And that's how you start to cure your loneliness, dude. Like, if I can help anyone with their loneliness with this channel, one person, I am through the moon, honestly. If you want to talk about this, you can like comment below. I'll talk with you. This is an epidemic. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.